college nursing program. On behalf of the administration, the faculty who are seated here on stage, and the staff, we welcome you today to this pinning and candlelight ceremony. Are any of you sitting out there wondering what pinning and candlelight ceremony means and why there are two separate events today, a graduation ceremony and a pinning ceremony? Well, lucky for you, I'm going to talk about that for just a moment. The pinning ceremony the tradition of that pin was with Florence Nightingale at the Nightingale School of Nursing in London. That was back in 1860, 150 years ago. She had nursing graduates that she pinned. So where do you think she got that idea from? We believe it came from the history of all the way back to the 12th century, almost 1,000 years ago, when the earliest badges were given to the Knights of the Order. This was a religious group or order who tended to the ill and the wounded crusaders. Each of these Knights of the Order took a vow. They vowed to serve the sick. Each was presented with a Maltese cross as a symbol of Medal of Excellence. So today, we extend that same honor to our nursing graduates. We will present each of them with their own Medal of Excellence, and that symbolizes their own personal badge of courage, and we call that the nursing pin. So that covers pinning, but what about candlelight? The meaning of the candlelighting ceremony, again, ties back to Florence Nightingale. That story will be covered a little more in depth today by our faculty speakers, so I won't elaborate other than to say that engraved on each pin that you nursing graduates receive today is a lamp. And that lamp, we know, gives off light, and we consider light also knowledge. So this pin today with the lamp is symbolic of the light, or what I like to call the enlightenment that accompanies knowledge. So it's our hope as you come up today as nursing graduates that you might make your own commitment and your own vow to serve the sick and to serve others. And not only that, but that you will use your own light or enlightenment and knowledge as you serve and help others in your career. And it's our commitment to you as nursing faculty that we have shared with you throughout this program what we know about nursing and about knowledge and serving the sick. And we hope that you then will take your light as you go out into the world, and you will have a renewed dedication to serve and to help others. So, your program, I hope you all have one. We will follow the outline as printed. And we're going to begin with our student speakers, and today they are Wendy, Beverly, and Chantaler. Following our student speakers will be our faculty speaker, Mr. Stephen Littoral, and following his comments, then we'll proceed with the pinning ceremony, the nursing pledge, and the candlelighting ceremony. Wendy?
As a little girl, what I wanted to be when I grew up, the answer would always have been a nurse. Fast forward 30 years, had a husband, 4 kids, and a crazy life, and that is where my road at Ameritech began. Sort of. A little over 8 years ago, I sat in the Huntsman Cancer Institute, and I watched my mom lose her 12-year battle with cancer. I don't even remember the name of the nurse that took care of her, but I vividly remember how she took care of not entire crazy family. She made sure that our questions were answered, that we were as comfortable as could be during such a difficult time. She even helped us pull off a Christmas in September, since that was my mom's favorite holiday. I remember sitting there, watching her go about her job, and while I felt like my world was falling apart and wanting so badly to do what she did, I realized in that moment that I wanted exactly what I had always wanted, to be a nurse. So 18 months ago, I walked into orientation in those amazing blue scrubs, so excited and so terrified of what was ahead. No one could ever tell you or prepare you in any way just how hard this journey was going to be. The one real comfort was that there were so many others in that room that were beginning this adventure too. I was definitely not alone. This amazing group of people was rather intimidating. I had absolutely no medical background, which I felt like it was a disadvantage of sorts. The first huge hurdle was just passing anatomy, physiology, and also clinical math. There was constant brain mush going on. You really had to put your family and life aside for a while, which was incredibly difficult. Heaven forbid that your personal life have to come into play for any amount of time, because there was always a date with Jan in the testing center waiting to be taken. The real challenge was finding the time to do homework, study, pass tests, and still be a wife and mother and take care of those responsibilities. It seemed like every time finals were right around the corner, the personal life was crashing into view. I was able to have a different perspective on the nursing process due to the fact that I had to put my father into an Alzheimer's home only 3 weeks into the program. But I was not the only person going through personal struggles while going to school. That is what helped to bond us so closely together. I truly felt like I had another family helping me through this, who really understood the amount of stress that was placed on our shoulders. There were plenty of ups and downs, a true roller coaster of emotions and stress. The high levels of anxiety before taking a test could have killed us at times. Not to mention how you felt after the test. Thank heavens for Mackenzie's bottle of Pepto-Bismol that she so willingly shared. Just like a real family, there were plenty of times that you would want to bang your head against a wall. But also the times that so many came to help hold you up during those darkest of dark moments, whether for personal reasons or just because you were sure that you failed Lona's test, partly because it felt like she wrote it in another language, or at least it felt that way. When there really was a light at the end of this tunnel, capstone requirements turned in, finals again around the corner, I realized that this amazing group of people, students and faculty, truly are like a family to me. I have learned so much, not just AdPi and to always think like a nurse, but that I have inherited friends and colleagues that I hope to keep learning from. This truly was the hardest thing I have done in my life so far. And I am a boo, I'm sorry. It was an amazing adventure that truly could not have been accomplished without the support of family and friends. It definitely took a village, but also my new school family of friends. Even though I have to say I'm crazy excited to not have to worry about any more tests. No math, no nothing. Now it's time to get to work and do what I've always wanted to be doing. But before that, I want to share a little parable that my mom always told us. There was a man walking across the beach one morning. It was early, and he was older and ornery. Life had hardened him. And as he was walking along this beach, he saw a little kid picking up the starfish one at a time and throwing them into the ocean. And he walked up to this little boy and he said, "What on earth are you wasting your time for? You can't possibly save all of these starfish. There's miles of beach here. There's no way you can make a difference in these." The little boy picked up a starfish and he threw it into the ocean. And he said, "At least I made a difference for that one." So I hope that we can go out and make a difference for the one. Can't always make a difference for the all, but we can do all that we can to make a difference for the one. So to my new school family, I hope that each of you will be able to begin this new chapter of our lives. Hold your heads up high because we have survived this crazy thing called nursing school. Think straight. I wish each of you the best of luck in pursuing what avenue of this amazing profession you choose to go down. The options are endless, and there will always be this group of people cheering you on. Thank you.
graduates, our educators, friends and family. Someone just mentioned to me that I should picture the audience naked to decrease anxiety, and that technique I wouldn't advise to anyone. It actually causes more anxiety. My name is Sean Taylor, and I am an Ameritech graduate. I currently live in Alpine, and I have a beautiful wife and 4 young children. And in the past 9 years, I've run several businesses. I've had many employees and managed to create a small amount of wealth. My last business was securing and managing properties for Bank of America. One day I came home from a hard day's work to find my wife with a smirk across her face. I asked her what was up. She went on to explain that she had just signed me up for school. Big surprise. I asked, why in the world would you sign me up for school? And she explained that although in business you can gain a lot of wealth, you can also lose a lot of wealth through risk that businesses require. She was referring to my first business, running Integrity Homes. When the housing market crashed, we had several $1 million in loans, and it took a lot of time, energy, and money to pay back banks and private investors. We almost lost everything. Because of that experience, I could understand why she wanted me to go back to school. I explained to her that I cannot run businesses and go to school at the same time, so we must choose which route to take. I was hoping she would choose business over school. Without hesitation, she said, okay, go to school. 1 year later, I found myself at Ameritech College completing a degree in something I never expected to do, nursing. No offense, but I felt nursing was for women and sissies. I was dead wrong. Nursing requires dedication, perseverance, and a positive attitude. After completing Ameritech, I felt I deserved a vacation. One option that popped into my head was going on a cruise ship. My thoughts raced back to my honeymoon, where my wife and I sailed on the largest cruise ship on the sea, the Carnival Pride. This ship was huge and was several stories high. I stood with amazement when I first saw it. I wondered how the engineers managed to keep the ship afloat. Once we boarded, we set sail to some of the most exotic places, such as Belize, Cancun, and the Florida Keys. We had a great time. But what interested me the most was when I stood near the edge of the top deck, near the rails, to look out into the vast expanse of the ocean. I saw nothing but dark blue water. I realized our massive ship was in no comparison to the vast ocean that lay ahead. It was a little intimidating. Still pondering, I thought of the early settlers and wondered what compelling emotions would cause them to brave the ocean in old wooden ships that relied only on winds and currents to reach their destinations. I was even more awestruck when I realized not only did those old wooden ships complete their journeys, but were able to make such trips several times. My curiosity brought me to do some research on old ships. I wanted to find out how they worked, what kept them from tipping over, and how they survived violent and unforgiving storms. Since I was doing some research anyway, I thought I might as well relate my talk to this and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Ships that predate the 1800s need 4 prerequisites to withstand the relentless storms of the sea. These prerequisites include safe harbors, skilled labor, plentiful wood supply, and rock ballast. I'd like to focus my speech on the last of these prerequisites, the importance of rock ballast in the hull of the ship. Ballast was extremely important to all sailing ships. It lowered the vessel's center of gravity while providing the necessary stability to counteract the stress and strain of the wind upon the sails. Without enough ballast in the lower hull, ships would tend to become top-heavy and capsize. Crew members, who are supervised by the captain, would carefully place each rock in the hull of the ship to create a perfect balance. Once the desired ballast is in place, it is secured to the hull so it would not move to one side or the other during the storm. Doing so ensured safe travel to and from the destinations which the captain desired. When it comes to nursing, I do not believe that there is one among us, as of right now, who is a Carnival Pride. However, I do believe that all of us are capable of setting and reaching exotic destinations. We might be small, made of wood, and our cells may need adjusting. However, our ballast is right, our ship is strong, and all we need now is open water. The dark blue water that lay ahead may be a little intimidating, but with courage and a strong conviction of what we are doing, will cross the vast expanse of life and will enjoy the fruits of our labor. Whatever course the currents and winds of life take us, we will find adventure, rewards, and greater knowledge. Some, I'm sure, will continue their education to become managers, educators, and mentors. Others will perfect their nursing skills to become life-saving caregivers. In some reunion, years from now, we will all meet again. We will tell of our triumphs, our victories, and successes, but also of sorrows, disappointments, and regrets. Whatever the journey, I'm sure it will be exciting to listen to, and I look forward to listening to them. We'll make several exotic trips before deciding to retire and go on display. We are the captains of our ship, and we will succeed at life. I'll miss all of you. You've become a great friends to me. And it's true, you've become family. I say to you, good luck and smooth sailing. Thank you.
To begin my remarks, I need to clarify that on occasion, I've been known to mix words. My speech is based on the remarkable actions and symbolisms of Florence Nightingale, who was known as the Lady of the Lamp. However, I have been known to mispronounce her last name. So if I happen to say Florence Henderson, just know that she was the lovely lady that had 3 girls, okay? Florence Nightingale was born in 1820 and died in 1910. Going against the best wishes of her family, Miss Nightingale understood her calling in life. A provider of care, she was strong-willed, determined, intelligent, and dedicated. During the Crimean War, Miss Nightingale would go each night holding a lamp and go from bed to bed, caring for the wounded. These wounded men called her the Lady of the Lamp. Far did she know that not only her actions would become the foundations of the profession of nursing, but carrying the lamp would provide such a symbolism described to each of you today. Soon, we will be participating in the lighting of the lamp. But I say to you, that has already begun. This process began over 1.5 years ago when each of you decided to occupy the halls of Ameritech College of Nursing. You see, that lamp requires 3 ingredients necessary to sustain that flame, and each one of you possess that today. First is oxygen. Oxygen represents the life, because if we don't have any oxygen, we are dead. And as the great instructor Carla Huntsman would say, dead is bad. Second, we need an ignition source. Each of you choosing to come to Ameritech had that ignition source, and that was the desire to serve. Not everyone's desire was the same. Some of it was, some people's may have been the desire to serve their family. Others, it may have been the desire to change professions. However, there was one common desire, and that was the desire to serve others. Miss Nightingale had, you all possess that same desire that Miss Nightingale had every time she went to those bedsides at night. Still, we have no flame without something to burn. The fuel that keeps this flame lit is knowledge. The more fuel you put on that fire, the brighter and the stronger the flame will be. Don't stop gaining knowledge. Take the knowledge that you have received here at Ameritech and use that as the foundation of your career. If a lighthouse only used a 60-watt light bulb, think of how many lives would have been lost. Instead, they use a 1,000-watt light bulb. And those are the ones, that light bulb will help those who are seeking help. So as you graduate today, your flame is now lit. As Miss Nightingale carried her lamp to the wounded, you also have that opportunity to carry that lamp and that flame within your heart and soul. Our job as educators are done, helping you to light your flame, but your journey has just begun. I say to you that what an honor it has been to work with each and every one of you in building that foundation. Welcome to the profession.
Well, all I can say is wow. What great remarks we've heard today from both our faculty and our two student speakers. You know, these two student speakers just represent the entire class, and what a great group you are, and we want you to know we're really going to miss you. And I commend you today for all that you've accomplished. So let's move on with pinning. So we will have the first four students, Joelle, who has been helping you throughout the program, will be helping you again today. And you will proceed here to the right of the stage where you'll give your name to Linda. Once your name is read, you'll be coming up onto the stage here, and there are marks where you will stand for pinning as well as having a photograph taken. Then you're going to take your candle and you're going to walk over here and you'll be directed onto the stage for the actual candle lighting ceremony. Graduates. Wendy Beverly. Jessica Barnes. Carrie Brown. Sean Taylor. Jamea Liana. Shakira Elise Farrar. Jonathan Krieger. Caitlin Amy Lester. Jacqueline Dent.
Jessica Lee Campbell. Beth Matthews. Sierra Slider. Mackenzie Taylor. Michelle Wall. Lindy Turpin. Shelley James. Shay Taylor. Katie Binks Jacobs. Christy Wayman. Brenda Mangelson. Amy Sessions Green. Kim Reynolds. Amy Hansen. Amber Haig Shearbaum. Samantha Ray Pogue. Kendall Kirkham. McKenna Ray Caldwell. Shandy Adams. Carrie Jacobson. Carrie Valier. Becky Skousen. Chelsea Nay. Carolyn Merrill. Laura Peterson. And Sarah Steed.
At this point, we are going to recite the nurses' pledge. If there are any nurses in the audience that would like to stand and recite this along with our new graduates, we invite you to do so. All right, guys, get ready. All right. All together. I solemnly pledge before God and in the presence of this assembly to faithfully practice my profession of nursing. I will do all in my power to make and maintain the highest standards and practice of my profession. I will hold in confidence all personal matters committed to keeping in the practice marks of my calling. I will devote myself to the welfare of my patients, my families, and my community. I will endeavor to fulfill my rights and privileges as a good citizen and take my share of responsibility in promoting the health and welfare of my community. I will constantly endeavor to increase my knowledge and skills in nursing and to use them wisely. I will zealously seek to nurse those who are ill, whomever they may be, and whenever they are in need. I will be active in assisting others in safeguarding and promoting the health and happiness of mankind.
Ameritech College graduates, it is with much gratitude and our deepest appreciation that we congratulate you and welcome you as colleagues into the nursing profession. Congratulations. This marks the end of our pinning and candlelight ceremony. You may visit with your graduates, take pictures until approximately 5:15, at which time we need the graduates back with their cap and gown in the back, and we will line up and be ready for graduation. Okay?